Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be making an Art Nouveau planter stake. I'm going to be using this pretty dichroic on black Florentine for the flower, and then a little bit of this rainbow dichroic on dewdrop for the leaves. This pattern you can find on Etsy. I will link it in the description box below. And yeah, it's gonna be really pretty. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my rod that I'm going to use here. So this is a 3/32 brass rod. You can just find them at the hardware store. I think they sell them on Amazon too. You can use brass rods, you can use copper rods, you can use galvanized steel. There's a lot of things you can use. So in the pattern, I made a line that's the width of this. So when you cut it out, there's going to be an extra gap between the leaves for this to fit into. Now this is a 12-inch rod, so I'm going to take my little saw and cut it right in half. This is a pretty handy little saw. I got it at Harbor Freight. I think it was like $30, so not very expensive. And I use it to cut zinc cane, use it to cut these rods. I'll also mention that the glass I'm using is thin 2mm glass. So this piece isn't going to be very heavy, which is why I'm using this 3/32 rod. Usually, if I'm using standard size glass, it's a little bit heftier, so I use this 3mm rod. But you can use your judgment and use whatever rods you want. Okay, let's get this pattern traced. I wish these markers were a little bit skinnier, but if you go to this is the best paint marker ever for tracing. It's the fine point. If you go to extra fine, then it's not the felt tip like this anymore. It's kind of like just a plastic tube that lets ink out, and it tends to bleed under the pattern, and it's really annoying. So I only use those if I'm tracing clear glass or something. But then these just make an extra thick line, and it's annoying. Okay, and then I can't believe I have to get out that huge piece of dichro just for these two little leaves. I mean, look how freaking gorgeous this glass is. I'm just gonna take the leaves from the corner. These little pliers come in so handy. They are smaller than your standard pliers, so you can get into little spots and pull that glass out. All right, cool. Now I just have to grind it. Okay, so dichroic, come on. So dichroic glass has a very strong coating on the front, but it can be scratched when grinding. So, and since I have to grind face down, I like to grind on top of this thin foam sheet, or you can use one of those, what do they call it, like grinder mates, where you click. I actually ordered one of those. It hasn't come yet, but it holds the glass off the ground a little, or off the grid. Anyways, let's grind. Alright, now it's time to solder. I'm going to be using Classic 100 Gel Flux. Got my Amraway 6040 solder. We need some protective gloves, and I need my fume extractor. Now, if you're going to use, or sorry, not fume extractor, respirator. Now, if you're going to use a respirator, you want to use the cartridges that are meant for vapors and fumes. If you use these are just for dust. These aren't going to help with the fumes. And then I also have that yellow hose back there. That is the fume extractor. So it gets a little noisy in here, but we want to protect our lungs. like to clean my pieces twice, sometimes 3 times. First, well, I was just using NutriClean, or I'll use CJ's Flux Remover. I have so many products. I just cycle through them. So first I did NutriClean with a toothbrush, and then I rinsed it in warm water. Now I'm going to do some more NutriClean and a magic eraser. I should get that wet. And now I'm going to rinse it in my cold water because I recently hooked up a water purifier to my cold water line, so it should have less contaminants in it. Alright, we are all shiny and clean. So now I'm just going to dry this off with the towel and let it air dry for a little while. Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, so this piece is almost done now. I mean, I could leave the solder silver, but I much prefer black to really let the glass be the star. So this is dry now. I'm just going to do a light pass with steel wool, nothing crazy, just to open those, just to rough up the surface. I go very lightly. I don't press too hard. As much as I hate steel wool, I think it just lets the black patina go on very evenly. I think that's good. Okay, and then I'm just gonna brush off. Okay, and then I'll just spray it with some quick clean to clean up the patina. Right, then we let that dry until it's time to wax. Okay, we are almost done now. I let the patina dry overnight, so now I need to wax it. Sometimes I use Liva, sometimes I use Clarity. Today I'm going to use Mother's Brazilian Carnauba. I don't like that word. Carnauba, Carnauba cleaner wax. You can use the cleaner wax, or you can use just the 100% pure wax. That doesn't really matter. I feel like that was kind of, I always use more wax than you need to. It's a problem that I have. But, okay, so I'm going to go prop that up and let it dry. I just love all these colors.